Can you see now? Yeah, you can see the paper towel's picking it up, look. Just here. Now there's more to this than meets the eye. What's it like on the other side? Oh no, it's blown through completely, look. In fact, but I can't put my hands on a flashlight at the moment. Yeah. You can, I don't know if you can see, looking at this here, but there's holes in the, is that better? There's holes in the gasket. Now, let me take the camera off, let's have a look at the block. I just dropped the head on the floor, and there is one of those caps. I have an awful feeling that the cap might have dropped into the valve. Anyway, let's have a look at this first. When we look at the top of the block, we can see a lot of discoloration around here, look, where there isn't any here. But you can see this, I've got a suspicion that the head's warped. So, yeah, the blocks very rarely warp. I did have some blocks in UK warp, but they were on Fords. But I don't know if that little valve piece has gone down there. It's quite a mystery, really. The bars look good. You know, they look alright. But this discoloration here is not good. Because you see, I like to put those multi-layer shim gaskets on these. And, yeah, like I say, I'll get one into order. Yeah, but that's it. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put the head on the bench and we'll just check it for level. I've set up the light at a very interesting angle. It might be a bit too bright. Let me drop it down a bit, that's better. You can see here where that's eaten in to the aluminium. And look how discoloured it is round here. Well, I thought it was warped. Let's get down and dirty. And there you go. Let's wind this down a little bit more. There. Can you see under there? This is my straight edge. That edge bent like a 9-bob bit, look. Look at that. Yeah. So, all my setup's fallen down, but the head's warped. But is it cracked? Now, we have a bit of a problem here. Not so much your heads. But to machine that out, to prevent that happening again, we've got to go down quite a way. But also, this is the most important thing, the 300 TDIs weren't sort of very friendly for machining heads, because when you machine off the head, you've got to cut the valves down, the valve seats down on inside the head to correspond to the same distance between here and here. Because if you machine the head off here, these valves can be almost flush and can hit the pistons. Not good. The problem is, you see, and this is where we're in a bit of a dilemma. I can pressure test this head. But I'm going to take it down to a machine shop because I know it's already warped. Or am I going to? No, bugger it. We'll pressure test it here, because my pressure tester will allow for the warping. Yes. So we're going to pressure test it and see if we can skim this down anymore. Because when I look at this here, this has got skim marks in here which don't really correspond to factory ones. I don't know. I've seen so many heads. I know what they look like. So has it been skimmed before? I don't know. There is a measurement somewhere that you can take off between here and here, I think. I'll go and see, because there's only so much you can pull off these heads. What I'm trying to get at is this. I'm not trying to make any money out of it. By the time you pay for each seat to be cut at the machine shop, I can't cut them. Strip it down, reassemble it, machine it, pressure test it, well, whatever you want to do. it gets kind of expensive. And I'm just wondering if there's any other problems with this head. I don't know. You see, I'm thinking about another head. I'm not really sure. Let me see how many kilometres are on this. This engine's got 318,000 kilometres. It's kind of a lot. I'd have to ask him what else he wants to do. Pop another head on it. Job done, and then we guaranteed it's okay. I don't know. When heads have been overheated that much, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let me put my straight edge on again, and I'll set the camera up and we'll measure how much it's warped. That'll be fun, won't it? I know you got your popcorn out, haven't you? When it goes right, here we go. There you go, that's a nice tight fit. 9 thou or 0.22 or 0.229 millimeters. That's a hell of a lot, considering that's the low point, and then we'd have to go even deeper still to take that chunk out of there. Answers on a postcard, eh? I don't know. I know heads are good now from Spain. I don't do the Britpart ones now. I've stopped doing them. They used to say Britpart heads used to say they were made in the UK if they were assembled. Well, what I've come to the conclusion is the actual heads. If you get the bare head, it's made in China, but if it's assembled, it's made in the UK. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to have a word with Martin and let him see this video. Alright. That's it stripped. We found the problem. That was it. It wasn't a cracked block, but the head is suspect. Is it going to cost more to refurbish this head than a replacement? We'll see. I'm desperately running short of bench space because the project's tied up. But what I've done is I've got a big container there full of hot water, and I've put a 10mm steel plate on there with a rubber gasket, and I've hooked up a pressure gauge. I've also blanked off where the thermostat goes at the end. I've done this before, I'm just explaining it to people who don't know. And what we're going to do, we're going to apply compressed air to the head and see if it bubbles. Now, I didn't even wash it off, that's how lazy I am. But it's completely covered in water, completely immersed. Let's get the airline out. So there we go, I've just clipped on the airline. This valve isn't the best because it leaks a bit, but let's put some air on. That's 100 psi just about. Nothing. Nothing at all. So the head isn't cracked. That's good. Because if it was cracked, it would be bubbling like buggery. And 100 psi air is far better than 15 psi of water. Because water will find any crack. Air, should I say, will find any crack and start bubbling. Alright, so I think we're kind of happy with that. Just to prove a point, if you want to see a leak, I've covered over the thermostat housing. I wonder if I can get that in there. Oh, crap, I really can't do it one hand. There we go. So if I back that off, that's what a leak looks like. Can you hear it? So that's with that. So we know. Let's try and lock that off again. It's really difficult to do. I can't do it. Wait a minute, let me put the camera down. So, there you go, tighten it back up again. No leak. No leak from anywhere. No leaks from the injector tubes, from the glow plug tubes, anywhere from the head. Because if it was coming from cracked, if the face where the valves are was cracked, we'd be having bubbles everywhere. There is nothing. So the next thing is, can we skim that head and salvage it? I don't know. It'll have to take quite a lot off it. I'll have to take it down to the machine shop because I can't do that. And it's my different machine shop who just does engines. I'll try and ask him. Alright, so I hope you like that. That's tested that out.